your things. See, when people going through their things, you're always there. Every time they call you, that you are right there. Every time they need you, you show up. Every time they text you, you show up. As a matter of fact, when you know that they're going through their things, you show up even when they don't text you. You show up even before they call you, because you know this is just who you are. You have to show up. You speak to them, you give them advice. But let me say this, when you're going through your thing, sometimes you realize that nobody is there. When you call them, they're busy. When you text them, they don't text back. And when you call for them, they are completely missing. So you begin to feel nobody loves you, nobody cares about you. Here's the thing, man. Sometimes you have to understand, sometimes those moments when nobody is there for you, this is when the Creator is telling you this is not for them. This is not their time to be involved. This is your time. This is your time to be silent. This is your time to reflect. This is your time to go inside and go deeper. This is your time to actually look and sit still. And I think many of us, we lose friends because we think they should be there for us like how I was there for them. But the thing is, we are expecting us from them, but we are not them. And they ain't us. The thing is, this is the time when you begin to practice all the advice that you give to them and you give to all your friends in the past. This is the time to practice it. You see, all that love that you gave to them while they was going through their things, this is when you give that love back to yourself. This is when you give yourself grace. This is when you sit still, you and the Creator, and sit amongst each other and to recognize your own voice. See, sometimes you don't want to hear your own voice because you're afraid of your own voice. So when you're going through your things and nobody is there for you, it's not because they are bad people. And it's not because they don't like you or they don't love you. But it is when you have to sit still and just relax. You got to sit still and realize that you are relaxed. So many of us, we become bitter at our friends because where were you when I needed you? Listen, true growth happens when you're alone. What's up, Nigel? Seriously, true growth happens when you're alone. You know why they keep calling you and texting you every time they go to something? Because they haven't grown yet. They cannot eat adult foods. They can't be by themselves. They can't handle their own situations. But now life is telling you this is time for you to evolve. Life is telling you this is your time to sit your ass down, sit still and evolve. This is your time to deal with your own shit. This is the time that you go inside. Stop going outside. There ain't shit out there. Seriously. There ain't nothing out there. There is nothing out there. I know your friends look like they are busy and they don't like you, but they love you. But it's just, this is your time to sit still and to hear your own voice, to recognize your voice, to know the difference between your voice. Because many of you, you know your fears, you know your insecurities, you know your pain, you know your trauma, but you don't know your voice. You know your pain, you know your trauma, you know your insecurities, and you know your fears, but you don't know your own voice. And when you are experiencing these things, it is time to find your voice. It's time to find yourself. It is time to listen to yourself, not your friends, not your family, not your mother. We have to be comfortable within ourselves. And when you learn to do these things right here, when you learn to go inside deeper, when you learn to challenge yourself and be still and sit still and listen to your own voice, you'll find the answer to everything that you are seeking. Because everything that you are seeking is seeking you. How you doing? Man, how you doing? I've learned that everything that you are seeking is seeking you. The answers is already there. The questions that we ask, the only reason why we ask questions is because we already have the answer. And if you sit still enough, you'll actually recognize the answer. And listen, sometimes your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, sometimes we expect our spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend to figure, no, this is up to you. Even though we are in relationships, we are married, it is you to figure out your own shit because we have our own separate life. Stop looking for you in others. I'm telling you, man, you see, many of us, we give all the advice that we want to give. I give a lot of advice. We give all the stuff, we give all the love, and we give all the caring. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't take those same advice. I speak to a lot of people, and they're always the go-to people. You know, I'm the go-to person. Here, all my friends call me and ask me for advice, and I give it to them. But when I come to me, I don't know what to do. Take your own advice. You know, you don't give a pill that you don't take. You don't take. You can't take a pill that you don't take, that you know that you don't trust it, and give it to your family members and say this is the pill that you should take because that will cure it. When you don't trust it, you don't agree with it, you don't. You see, many of us are giving our own advice, but we don't take our own advice, and that's the problem. That's the separation between us and what we know. And when we can't do that, then nothing that you say is valuable. If you can't take your own medicine, if you can't take your own advice, what you're saying is irrelevant. And many of us are quick to give out this advice, but we can't take it, the same advice that we are given. If you are one of them people who can give advice, but you can't take your own advice, be quiet. That means your advice ain't shit. You don't trust it. You don't understand it. You don't believe it. So stop giving it. Stop feeding people that trash. And this is why when we are going through our own situations, we need to reach out and touch somebody, and people give us constant attention, and we need constant stimulation and constant attention and constant stimulation. Why? Because you can't go through your stuff sitting down. You know what? The truth is, many of us, this is our karma. You know, we think this is our trials. No, it's your karma. Many of you thinking that this is God testing you. No, this is your karma from your own thoughts. Your own karma from your own experiences, from your own choices. Some of you are facing your own karma. And when karma hits you, you don't know how to sit still and take it. You want to complain and cry and fuss. You want to reach out and nobody is there. Nobody will never be there, because that's not what you need at this moment. You need to go inside, sit still, and take your lashing. Take your licks. I don't know why many of us can give all this information, give all this advice. We always have a 2 cents to give. But when it comes to your own situation, why can't you take your own advice? If we learn to take our own advice, we'll be good. What many of us are doing, we are taking our own feelings, not our advice, but our feelings. We like to take the feelings, but not the advice. And when somebody is going through their thing, why, just do this. When you're going through yours, your feelings override your good advice. Your feelings override your better judgment. Your feelings is in front of your clarity. Your feelings is in front of your clarity. So you're always choosing the trash, choosing the wrong things, choosing the wrong people, the wrong relationships, the wrong situation, because your feelings is too involved. You have to learn to sit with yourself, separate your feelings, and you will find a solution. I'm telling you, when I learned that everything I seek is seeking me, I learned to sit still and let it find me. I learned everything you seek is seeking you. Everything you seek is seeking you. And all you have to do is put your mind to that thing that you think is seeking you. And you recognize it. Every answers that you seek is already found out. It's already there. It's already known. But you are so emotional that you can't figure it out. You are so emotional that you can't separate the emotions from the answer. Because the truth is, let's be honest, the truth is many of us already know what to do. Seriously, many of us already know the truth, but you don't want to do it because it goes against your feelings. We're doing it backwards. Many of us know what to do already, but the feeling that it brings, we panic. We panic. It makes us feel insecure. It makes us feel like we're in the unknown. It makes us feel troubled. Our spirit is troubled. I'm telling you, man, it's always, we have to understand this. We have to learn to sit still, separate the feelings from separate the feelings. Yeah, definitely. We got to learn to sit still, separate the feelings from the silence. Many of us already do know the truth, but that's the hard truth. It's a tough pill to swallow. It is, ain't it though? Seriously. Many of us know the truth. Many of us have all these relationship problems, as we call it. And we don't have relationship problems. We don't know when to step away problems. See, many of us don't have relationship problems. We just have a problem with knowing when things are over. It's not relationship problems. Don't put... Do you feel what I'm saying though, Nigel? Many of us have relationship problems, but it's not relationship problems. We have a problem to know or to accept when things are over. That's the problem that we have. But we say it's relationship problems. Many of us say we have relationship problems, but sometimes we have disconnection with how we choose our partners. We choose what we want to choose.